What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Untamed Outdoorsmen. And today we are back with another video, recording in the garage in the middle of winter here. And today we are back with a new product on the channel, and this is going to be the YakAttack TowNStow Bunkster kayak cart. So, a little bit of context here, kind of going back a few years. I have owned the YakAttack TowNStow bar cart, which is not this Bunkster. They have two options. They have the bar cart, which is a lot longer poles, and then they have the Bunkster, which is just rubber pads on the top. I owned that TowNStow bar cart a little over 2 years ago. I'll actually leave the video up in a card right now if you want to check that out on our review of that. But I loved that cart. That TowNStow bar cart was a very, very good quality cart, and I was a fan of it. The thing is, we had that kayak cart for a specific kayak, which was the Ascend 133X. Those of you who have been around for a while, you'll know that guy. The Ascend 133X worked extremely well with that TowNStow bar cart. However, when we upgraded kayaks to the Native Watercraft Titan X 12.5, that bar cart became impractical, especially because we were getting landing gear for the Titan X 12.5. So the bar cart was in kind of a weird place, so we decided to sell it off. Coming back now 2 years later, we now own the YakAttack Bunkster cart. And the reason that we have this Bunkster cart is multiple reasons. Number one, with the way we're going on the Native Watercraft Titan X 12.5, we're going into its third season, we are adding more and more things to it, which is increasing the weight. With the weight increase, the landing gear does run into some issues, or can run into some issues when it's overloaded. So as we continue to add things to that kayak, the landing gear becomes less and less practical. So I decided it was best to move on from the landing gear and move into a cart. With that being said though, as many of you know, we have a Fish Texas kayak trailer on order for that Titan X 12.5. Many of you might be asking the question to me, Connor, why did you buy this cart? Isn't that kind of redundant? On paper, sure, it is kind of redundant. However, the reason that we decided to pull a trigger on this is to have a backup. So, while this will not be the primary wheel transportation system that we use on our Titan X 12.5, this will always come with us. This will always be in the trailer. This will always be there as a backup just in case you need it, just in case the situation at the boat ramp, it works better for a cart, just in case something happens to the trailer. This cart is planning for the just in case. So this is going to serve as a backup to the trailer, because I don't like the idea of only having the trailer. Just every situation is a little bit different, so having this as a backup is going to be really nice. So in this video, we're just going to unbox it. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to kind of see how it compares to the TowNStow bar cart that we had. I don't have it anymore, but yeah, we'll kind of compare it and take a look. I did get this guy on sale, so the opportunity presented itself, and I took it. So let's do it. Okay, so there's a lot of things that I think I'll remember from the bar cart. It seems like it's going to be very similar, except for the legs themselves. They're going to be pretty similar. So we got our wheel here. I remember these wheels being very high quality wheels for the year plus that I used them. I remember thinking very fondly of the wheels. And they also have the actual hub is independent, so this will move. So for example, that'll move. The wheel will move, but the hub won't. So you can actually slide a cam strap through that, which is pretty useful. It has to be a longer cam strap. You can definitely do it. We have our base here. So you do have different adjustment points. I remember this very vividly. You do have different adjustment points to cater to the width of your kayak. And then you also have your release buttons here for the wheels. We should have two more things in here. We have our actual spine that the kayak will rest on. And then there should be another one as well. Yep, another one. And then one more thing. Okay. And then we got our rubber pads here. So we also have our directions here, which I already know how to assemble this from the other cart. We also have a quick start guide, intended use, maintenance. So Bunkster requires very little maintenance, but to maximize its performance and longevity, we recommend cleaning and lubricating the wheel and hub assemblies annually, or about every 20 miles, with a grease that does not react adversely to plastic. So that's actually something I did not know. So you learn something new every day. So here's the cart, guys. So from what I remember, this is very similar to the bar cart. This, I think, was identical. The wheels were identical, and obviously the actual legs are a little bit different. But this is all like one big universal piece, so it works out really good. And the reason why I went with the Bunkster as opposed to the bar cart was because of this. So just like, as you can see, it breaks down completely flat. So I can put this cart and I can leave it in our trailer box with no fear. This is not going to take up a ton of room. This is going to rest in there nice and easy. I mean, it'll just be really nice to have a backup. It'll be really nice to have an emergency wheel system on the trailer at all times. I like that idea a lot. It gives me a little bit of peace of mind, so there's no boat ramp that we can't handle. So we'll get these guys thrown on here quick. These are our rubber pads, which I actually find extremely useful. That did come in handy a lot. So it's just a simple push down and lock in. And you just lock in, just like that. So you kind of just push them down and lock it in. You got little cutouts specifically for these plastic orange clips there. I dig it. I dig it. That's it. So these rubber pads lock into the body of the cart here, and they clip in and they can't slide around. So I found these pads to be extremely useful on other kayaks because when it was that like foam material, it would slide very easily. When it's this rubber material, it does a really good job making sure your kayak doesn't move around while it's on the cart. So this is going to be really nice. Again, it's going to be great for just having in the trailer always as a backup. That's going to be the biggest thing for me, is just having it as a backup. So let's kind of get this thing on. Take a look. Cool. That's one. So there's just these little like tabs here that you push. Cool. And then the wheel hubs just go on. One and two. And then that just goes down like that. So super cool. I dig this a lot. Definitely a lot more minimalist than the bar cart was. A lot simpler, a lot less moving parts, a lot less connections that you have to make. I like this a lot. And I like the fact that it breaks down nice and flat so I can put it in the tongue box. But this is super cool. I like this a lot. I'm a fan. And we will definitely be using this as an emergency backup for the trailer to always just have on hand just in case, because you never know. You never know what the situation's going to warrant. Yeah, I am super excited, guys. Definitely a smaller video this week as opposed to our regular videos. So like I said earlier in the video, the trailer that's coming is going to be a nice couple of videos for the channel. Hopefully within the next 4 to 6 weeks, we should be pretty close to having that trailer. I'm very optimistic it'll be here before the start of the fishing season this year. And I think we're gonna have a really good idea very soon on when that trailer is gonna be here, but my hope is for it to be here by the start of the fishing season so we can get acclimated to it. Get some time very early on in the season when the ramps are nice and quiet, kind of get used to the trailer, get acclimated to that kind of transport. But either way, super excited to have this bar cart. The opportunity presented itself and I picked it up. And I can tell you that I am happy with this, and it's going to be nice to have that peace of mind to always have a wheel system on hand. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely stay tuned. I'm sure we will do a long-term buyer's review on this at some point in the future. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Thank you.